I am now here with Dr. Rachel Keith, co-lead of the HEAL study and associate professor of medicine at University of Louisville, as well as director of human services at the Environmental Institute. This was one of our March stories that was extremely intriguing to me. Can you share with us a little bit about the HEAL program?
Yes, so it is a clinical study. So when you think of a clinical study, you think of people getting a medicine to help them with something. But we are giving an entire community trees to help with cardiometabolic disease. So what does that mean? That means things like diabetes, heart attacks, high blood pressure. And so we're really trying to study how the environment impacts health and how it impacts the health of an entire community.
Wait a minute. So are you telling me that trees, just trees, can change the health outcomes of a community?
Yes. So trees alone can do a lot of things. And what we don't know is exactly how they're doing it. So there's been a lot of epidemiological studies. So they take other studies that were to look at why heart disease existed and started looking at where people lived and noticed that green spaces were better. So everyone in research has their favorite thing, right? So some people think it's because it reduces air pollution. Some people think it reduces stress. I think the trees give off these fantastic chemicals when they talk to each other, because no one knows trees talk to each other and have these great communication pathways. So we are learning what it is.
Trees are like women?
Yes,
is that what you're trying to? Okay, I got you, sis. So we need to understand that. Yes. So let me ask you this question. One of the #1 killers in Black and brown communities is heart disease.
It is.
So understanding that trees can help reduce that, what sort of impact do you think this is going to have on health equity?
So it is huge for health equity. There's two things about Black and brown communities, right? A lot of times they have been marginalized to areas where there's high levels of pollution, whether it be roadways or chemical industries around those areas, right? We know redlining did that a long time ago, and communities are still largely in those areas. So, and then also it can be a very urban population. So we are trying to create that blueprint for areas to understand how to do trees right, because we don't know that yet. So do they need to be on expressways, buffering that pollution? Can they absorb some of the chemicals that are in the air surrounding these industries that do have higher levels of emissions? Or do we need them more in residential plots where people can get those aesthetic or those chemical benefits of the trees themselves? So we are trying to create a blueprint and then also take the onus off that individual again, not be told, well, you have to get out there and work out more, or you need to take another pill that you have to pay for, but give it back to the communities and the areas. And can we build better? Can we plan better? Can we revive areas that, have suffered health-wise?
That's incredible. What are some of the challenges that you think you're going to be up against?
Yeah, so challenges change. Some of the challenges are, some of these communities have other challenges that are pressing on them right now, like violence or opioid addictions or things like that. And then also science in general right now, post-pandemic, during pandemic. People have questions about how we do that and how transparent we are and what it means. So kind of being very transparent with the community and pulling them into the conversation and partnering with them is how we've tried to overcome that.
Got it. Well, Dr. Rachel, we see you, sis. Thank you for tackling a very, very tough topic in our community.